Hey there, welcome back. Last time we talked about avoiding unnecessarily inflated words when you're trying to choose the best synonym to improve your word choice. The word synonym means a word that has the same or nearly the same meaning as another word. Did you notice that nearly part? Here's the thing. Even though we say synonyms mean the same thing, that doesn't mean they're interchangeable. See, you can have two words that have the same basic meaning, but each one of those words has its own subtle nuances of meaning. Hey, there's a new vocabulary word. A nuance is a subtle difference or distinction in expression, meaning, response, etc. For example, take the word anger. Anger has a plethora of synonyms, but each one has its own unique nuances. You've got peevishness, which is like the annoyed, irritated, bad mood kind of anger. Then there's fury, which is an unrestrained, violent kind of anger. And then you've got my personal favorite, indignation, which is a sort of righteous anger you get when someone else does something unjust or insulting or ethically unforgivable. According to the thesaurus, these words are all synonyms, but that doesn't mean they're exactly the same. The goal of vocabulary choices in writing is not to impress people with big words. The goal is to communicate as clearly as possible. We try to avoid overly simple words, not because they're too small, whatever that means, but because they don't communicate as clearly as another word could. So, when you're trying to choose the best word for a given situation, you have to pay attention to the subtle nuances of word meaning. Let's practice with an example. The aperture setting of a photographic lens can be changed to control the amount of light reaching the film or image sensor. Let's say you want to swap out the word changed here with a less simple synonym. Synonyms for the word changed include the following: fluctuate, adjust, reform, transform, revolutionize. Now these are all synonyms, so they all have the same meaning, right? Well, at first glance, I'm going to say the words fluctuate and revolutionize look the fanciest, so should we just choose one of those and go with it? That's the mistake we often make with a thesaurus. It's not about which word looks the smartest, it's about which word has the right nuances to make it perfect for this situation. So let's look at the definition of each of these words. Fluctuate means to change continually, shift back and forth, vary irregularly. Adjust means to change something so that it fits, corresponds, or conforms, to adapt, to accommodate. Reform means to change to a better state or form, to improve by alteration, substitution, or elimination. Transform means to change in form, appearance, or structure, to change into another substance. Revolutionize, to bring about a radical change in something, to bring about a revolution in something. Once we look at the actual definitions here, fluctuate and revolutionize are probably the first two words we could eliminate. The word changed in our original example definitely doesn't mean to shift back and forth irregularly, and it also doesn't mean to bring about a radical change in something. Reform doesn't fit either. Reforming something is more like changing something that's bad or wrong, and that's not the situation in this example. What we really mean in this example is that you can change the aperture setting so that it fits or corresponds with the current picture-taking situation. So, adjust is actually the best fitting word choice here. Now, I have to note that most of the time, this choice comes down to a personal judgment call. In our practice example, you could have gone with the word altered, or modified, or adapted. Any of these words would have worked just fine. But fluctuate was definitely the wrong word here. So choosing the one perfect word is subjective, which means it's based on the style and personality of the writer. But there are some general guidelines we could follow. 1, choose the word that best fits your specific meaning and try to avoid vague words. 2, if there's a technical term that's more correct or more widely used by professionals within a specific field, then you should definitely use that one. For example, in photography, the placement of different items within your photograph is called composition. You could use a synonym like layout or visual organization, but Real photographers will use the word composition every time, so you should too. And 3, if a bigger or fancier word doesn't add anything as far as meaning or correctness or style goes, then the simpler word is often the better choice. Now it's your turn. It's time to go to work.